the channel. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Check it out. I got two motorcycles. I got a 2005 Road King and I got a 2009 Road Glide. Now the Road King is already paid off. I got it in the house. I ride it all the time, but this one right here is the one that I ride the most, which is the 09. I'm still making payments on it. It's actually not that expensive, but again, if you think you can afford a Harley, go and find a used one that has good mileage, that is going to be a good bike. And I'll tell you what, you could get it for a really decent price and you could get it for really not too much. Now, this one's so dirty right now. I'm going to give you a quick look. Like I said, this thing is so dirty. Look how nasty it is. And I just did an installation of the radio. I'm going to show you that as well. But lately, what I've done is that I have installed this radio right here because my radio broke. And I mean, it's doing pretty good, right? For 600 bucks, you get a radio. You get two speakers, 6x5, which obviously are inside there. And I'll tell you what, it wasn't that difficult to install. In fact, all I did was take a couple of screws, the fairing came out, couple bolts in there, and that's it. I was really actually very surprised of how easy it was. The guy that I took the bike to get a price wanted to charge me like 1,900 bucks. Now he was gonna put a really cool radio and a couple other cool things, but I'll tell you what, I didn't want to spend too much money on this motorcycle, but I do want to have a radio for 600 bucks. It was a pretty awesome upgrade. I'll link it down below if you guys want to check it out. But again, love the Road Glide, and the video today is gonna be the Road Glide versus the Road King. Or actually, why do I pick the Road Glide over the Road King all the time, right? And I tell you what, like I say, I love my Road King. I love riding it, but the way that I got it with the 21 in the front, the ape hangers, the fishtails, it's kind of too loud. It's kind of annoying, so I take it out only when I'm just, by myself, maybe with one or two friends. But the Road Glide is the one that I ride the most. So a couple things that if you consider between the Road Glide and the Road King, and keep this in mind. I want to say this because people are going to make this comment. You could dress up the Road King, right? Like I actually have a windshield. I actually have a trunk. And again, if you put a windshield and you put a trunk, you get the best of both worlds, right? You're going to get a motorcycle that you can strip down, use it for whatever you want to use it, like really slick look. But then if you put all the stuff back again, you got a bagger, full-on bagger that you could take on trips and all that. So a couple things that I love about the Road Glide, and usually I pick the Road Glide over the Road King. It's just that it's more comfortable to ride. Really comfortable. Now, I got to tell you, my 05 Road King has a different frame than an 09 Road Glide, so that could be a thing as well. Obviously, this has a thicker tire in the back, and again, it has a different frame. So for the purpose of that, usually if you have the same years, you're going to have the same frame. Probably it's going to be about the same, but in my case, knowing that I got an 05 and an 09, the 09 is so much comfortable to ride that is just ridiculous. Again, compared to the Road King, it's like day and night. Now, another thing that I love is this fairing right here. So essentially the fairing, to me, some people don't like it. I love the look of the fairing, and I just love the fairing. First of all, obviously I got little cubby holes in here that I could put my stuff, like I put my glasses and things like that. So I love the fairing because I got the cubby hole, but also it stops the wind, right? So as you're riding down the highway or you riding or whatever, that wing is hitting the fairing and it's not hitting you. So because of that, you have a more comfortable ride, right? So again, I guess you could do the same thing with the Road King if you put a windshield. I know you can, but it's not going to be as this, right? The fairing allows you to have a really comfortable ride because that wing is hitting the fairing, but at the same time, there's a bunch of little spaces in there that it's going to allow that wing to go through, so you still get a little bit of wind, of course. And obviously you can switch the windshield if you want to get it higher. Again, the windshield is a very personal thing. Now you're seeing the radio that I just installed right here, and again, another thing that I love about the Road Glide is that it comes with a radio, obviously comes with speakers, and you're able to listen to music. Again, you can install speakers on a Road King, but I tell you what, I just love that everything is there, right? The fairing is going to provide that, wind protection, and again, it's going to have those cover holes, and it's going to have a system that you can listen to music. And I have come to find out that I love listening to music. I live down here in Florida. We don't have to wear a helmet. I know that's a debatable topic, but we don't have to, and it's very nice to be able to listen to music. I have come to the point that I need to have music as I'm riding. I really love that. Now, one last thing that I'm mentioning about the fairing, obviously this is a frame mounted, so essentially it is mounted to the frame. You can see some of the things right here, so it is not mounted to the bar. You guys probably know this. On a street glide, electric glide, the fairing is mounted to the bar, so technically everything that hits that fairing is going to transfer translate to your hands. Now, I don't know if it's a big difference or not because I've never owned a street glide or an electric glide, but obviously it's supposed to be more comfortable. The fact that it's hitting the fairing and the force is being translated into the frame and not into the handlebars is supposed to be a little bit more comfortable. Now, some people say that it's difficult to ride a frame mounted motorcycle. I tell you what, it is a little bit weird when I got it, but it took me about 10 seconds. You get in the bike, you take off, 10 seconds later, you're fine. Really, you're fine. To me, obviously, the argument between the street glide and the road glide is always silly. It comes down to look, because they're both great bikes. Really, which one do you like? Do you like this kind of fairing, or do you like the bad wind fairing? One last thing that I'm going to mention about the bike is that I really love the road glide look. I know this is one of those things that some people don't like, but I really enjoy this look. I think it's cool. I think it looks great. I love the big fairing with the two lights. I love everything about it. So again, the fact that I love the look so much, it usually makes me pick this motorcycle over the Road King as well. So again, I got a new saddle. I did a video on this if you haven't watched it. Not new, but you know, I bought a used, paid about $350 for it, and I gotta tell you, I like it so far. I wish it had the little spot right here for backrest. I'm gonna have to figure something out. Maybe I cut it myself or something like that, but again, it's okay. I wouldn't say it's like all day saddle because a couple hours into it you're gonna feel it, but it's definitely more comfortable than the regular one, right? So again, that's the saddle right there. The bike is looking good. The bike is looking good. I know I said I wasn't gonna do any upgrades or anything like that, but you know, obviously I had to do the radio. I got a new saddle, and I just gotta watch it because it's nasty. I got the trunk and all that. I love the whole bagger look, and in my opinion, when you put a trunk and things like that into the road glide or electric glide and things like that, it just looks better. I mean, I do like the look of the Road King with the trunk, but I think that personally on the Road Glide it looks so much better. So anyways, guys, between the Road King and the Road Glide, I typically go for the Road Glide because, like I said, more comfortable, and this fairing here allows you to have a radio, allows you to have wind protection and all that. To me, it's a lot better. I do love my Road King and I take it all the time, but like I said, mine has a 21 16-inch apes and it's more like a cholo style motorcycle, and you know, it's just something that I used to, I don't know, bar hopping if you want to call it that. Let me know what you think. Put comments down below, and as always, God is in control.